everybody, it's seriously Sydney, aka SydtheIllustrator, and today we are working on fountain pen portrait number 4. So this is like a redo, I guess, of the portrait from last week. And with this one I decided to do a pencil sketch instead of just going straight in with the ink. And so with this you guys can have a mini tutorial. So for drawing a face, this is kind of 3/4 view. I start with a circle. Then I make the guidelines for the eyes and the guideline for the midline of the face, and I draw the chin. From there, in this case, I made the cheeks so that I would be able to connect the chin to the circle on the left side, and on the right side so that I would be able to draw the jawline. And then from there, I ended up drawing the ear. And I ended up having to adjust the ear a little bit later on, so it's a little bit off right now. But I drew in some details in the ear because something interesting, well, there are a couple interesting facts about ears. Apparently ears never stop growing. It's one part of your body that never stops growing, and everybody's ears are very different, very unique. So it's a cool little thing to note. And then from there I drew in the neck and the shoulders and any other little details, so the necklace and the dress strap. From there I go to the nose and I start drawing that in. I like to draw the I guess the side of the nose? I don't know what you would call it, but like the angle where on the left side, and then the bottom part. I should get better with my terminology if I'm going to be telling you guys what I'm doing. And then I'm drawing the lips and trying to make sure everything's proportionate and I have the correct spaces between everything. And then from there I drew in the dimples and I drew the eyes. So for the eyes, I had to make sure, because I like to make my eyes very, if I had to say anything, I would call it like those stylized fish that you see. So they're very, one side is very big and then it tapers off and it's very curved. And I had to be careful not to overdo that, because if I overdo it, it kind of changes the proportions of the portrait too much, and then it wouldn't be recognizable as the same person, so I had to be careful about that. Then I drew in the eyebrows and looked at proportions on stuff and tried to make sure I adjusted everything so that it was proportionate. And looking at it right now, it actually looks kind of creepy because I didn't put the pupils in or anything, or the hair, so it's just, that is kind of disturbing. Wow. Okay. Right here I am drawing the teeth, and one thing you have to be very careful about when doing teeth is you have to not put too much detail in them, because if you do, they kind of look more detailed than like the lips and everything, so they look like they're forward, like out of the mouth a little bit, or they become the focal point, and usually that's not where you want the focal point in the drawing. So here I'm adding the general outline for the hair and adjusting that so that it looks right. And there is pretty much your mini tutorial for drawing a face with some extra commentary. There we go, now we have the pupils and stuff in. And one thing that I messed up a little bit in this sketch is if you see the corner of the jaw and the neck, those were a little bit too close, so I should have brought the jaw, I guess, to the left a little bit, if that makes sense. And now I'm starting in with the ink, and I think I should have probably done a little bit of a test because the pen was acting a little bit funny at the beginning. But it ended up working out. Just going in and using this is one of the pens with a bent nib. Its name will be in the description. And because of the bent nib, I can get very fine details with the points of it, and with the broad of it, you can get the very thick lines. So I was using that to my advantage when working with this. And if I were to compare drawing without a sketch to drawing with one, these portraits, they turn out a little bit more proportional with a sketch. Well, if your sketch is, of course, proportional. And then, what else? It's a lot easier, but it takes a little bit less thought. You have to be, it's not nearly as, I want to call it calculating or challenging as drawing without a sketch. It's still fun though. I like the effect it has. Like at this stage, I really like the way the highlight in the eyes are looking and the nose. It just looks pretty neat. And then that pen or brush pen that you noticed I just put in the corner of the frame is a Pentel Color Brush Pen. So I think that's black. I end up using a little bit of that in this piece. And I like the way the hair came out so wispy, and it's like hinting at the detail without doing too much of it, that it spells it all out, if that makes sense. And I am using the orange ink. Though the ink does appear to be a little bit like sepia versus orange, it is labeled orange, and the brand is in the description. And then from there, I will be using a paintbrush with the blue ink from the same brand. So that'll be in the description. And there we go, all the details. It was much, much faster to draw it with the sketch, like to ink with the sketch. That is one thing I definitely noticed. So I got all the main colors and main details, and then for like adding emphasis and stuff, I used the blue ink and a little number 2 round, what is it? Creative Mark Mimic brush. So for the dress and different details, I use some blue. The earring. Just different shadow points, different things like that. You can see a little bit of my indecisions, like where do I add it? One thing I did note, because blue and orange are complementary colors, when you layer them, they do sometimes appear to be gray or brown or even black. So I had to be careful when layering them. But I did like the way it added, it almost seemed to add highlights to the hair, which was kind of funny because the blue is considered, that's kind of the darker color. So I found that very funny. It seemed to add highlights. And the reason behind choosing the blue and orange, the complementary colors, was because I wanted the portrait to seem to almost pop. Like when you look at it, I wanted it to be simple, yet make you go, wow, okay. Like really draw your attention. So you see like when in the eye above the highlight, it's the shadow, but it also draws your attention to the eye. And then I dropped a little bit of water on the forehead area, but that ended up drying, so that's good. And you guys have made it nearly to the end. If you guys want to see more videos like this or have any questions, comments, anything like that, drop a comment down in the comments section. Don't forget to like, subscribe, turn on notifications, and let's see here, the special word for this video will be strawberry. So if you guys watch this point, can you comment strawberry down in the comments section to let me know? Thank you, and here is where I'm using the Pentel Color Brush. You'll see I use it on the earrings and a couple details in a minute. But yeah, until next week, have an awesome week, and I'll see you next Wednesday. Bye.